Magic. The Gathering's new Foundation set has shaken up Commander, bringing back some of the most iconic and powerful legends. Whether you're into card draw engines, aristocrats, tokens, or control, these commanders represent the best of what the format has to offer. Today, we're counting down the top 12 Foundation's commanders ranked by EDHREC. Hey everyone, I'm the Hero, and I bring you the best Magic the Gathering content. If you love brewing decks and optimizing your commander strategy, this video is for you. Now let's jump in. Starting off at number 12, Kellen, Planar Trailblazer, is basically the ultimate career-switching adventurer. One moment he's a detective cracking the case, and the next he's a rogue delivering double-strike justice with a smirk. If you love impulsive card advantage and aggressive gameplay, Kellen lets you scout ahead with exile-based draws before flipping the script and smacking your opponents in the face twice per turn. With the right support, like cheap evasion spells and extra combat steps, this little fairy cowboy will have your opponents wondering if they should block or just accept their fate. Whether you build him as a tricky detective or a ruthless rogue, one thing's for sure, Kellen's got the style, the skills, and the cowboy hat to ride straight into victory. At number 11, Korra, the Rising Tide is like a merfolk librarian with a side hustle in summoning massive sea monsters. She lets you sift through your deck while preparing to unleash an 8/8 Octopus of Doom. If you love self-mill strategies, Korra turns your graveyard into a deep-sea treasure trove, rewarding you with a giant cephalopod every time she swings in for battle. Pair her with some looting effects and graveyard-filling spells, and suddenly your board is less of a battlefield and more of an aquarium full of terrifying sea creatures. At 3 mana, she's the perfect mix of value and threat. Draw, discard, and then casually drop a legendary Kraken's cousin onto the field like it's no big deal. At number 10, Zul Ashur, Lich Lord, is the ultimate necromancer on a budget. Why pay for zombies when you can just keep recycling them from the graveyard like a true Lich? With a built-in tax effect thanks to Ward 2 life, opponents will think twice before trying to remove him, because really, who wants to lose life just to maybe stop the undead horde? Pair him with zombie self-mill strategies and suddenly your graveyard is less of a discard pile and more of an all-you-can-cast buffet of brain-hungry minions. Whether you're bringing back relentless threats like Grave Titan or just looping annoying zombies every turn, Zul Ashur proves that true necromancers never let their minions rest. At number 9, Arahbo, the first Fang, isn't just any cat, he's the cat. The OG feline ancestor who's here to flood the board with an army of adorable but deadly kittens. If you love going wide with an aggressive feline army, Arahbo ensures that every cat you play brings a friend, turning your battlefield into a full-blown pride before your opponents can react. Throw in some token doublers like Anointed Procession, and suddenly your small cat tokens become an unstoppable wave of purring destruction. Whether you're playing casual cat tribal or going all in with a deck full of Leonin warriors, Arahbo proves that the multiverse really is ruled by cats. Next up at number 8, Kykar, Zephyr Awakener, is here to remind everyone that spellslingers get the best of both worlds, value and an army of flying spirits to peck your opponents to death. Whether you're flickering creatures for extra ETB triggers or just flooding the skies with an endless wave of 1/1 spirits, Kykar turns every non-creature spell into pure advantage. Pair this bird wizard with cheap cantrips and blink synergy, and suddenly your board state is flipping like a pancake at a breakfast buffet. With Kykar at the helm, you'll be casting spells, blinking creatures, and summoning spirits so fast your opponents will feel like they got caught in a magical hurricane. Next at number 7, Zimone. Paradox Sculptor is out here making math class exciting, because when you start doubling counters on creatures and artifacts, things escalate fast. Whether you're stacking +1/+1 counters, charge counters, or even time counters, Zimone turns your board into an ever-growing snowball of value that opponents will struggle to stop. Throw in cards like Hardened Scales and Vorinclex, Monstrous Raider, and suddenly your battlefield looks like an exponential growth chart from an economics textbook. With her ability to turn simple buffs into absurd power spikes, Zimone isn't just sculpting paradoxes, she's sculpting your opponent's defeat with sheer mathematical wizardry. Before we move on to the top 6, a quick moment. This video is powered by Dubby. Dubby Energy is the maker of a clean gamer energy drink. Top enhanced focus, concentration, and reaction time with no jitters, crash, or bad ingredients. Head over to dubby.gg and use the code THEHEROES to get that 10% discount. At number 6, Elenda, Saint of Dusk, is the kind of vampire who doesn't just drain life, she turns your excess life total into raw, unstoppable power. With lifelink and hexproof from instants, she's surprisingly hard to remove, meaning she'll just keep growing while your opponents stress about whether to chump block or accept their fate. Pair her with life gain strategies and cards like Aetherflux Reservoir, and suddenly you have a vampire saint who's both tanky and terrifying in combat. If you love swinging with a scary menace lifelinker while your opponents desperately try to lower your life total, then Elenda is ready to lead your army of divinely overpowered vampires. At number 5, Koma. World Eater is an unstoppable force, uncounterable, trampling, and Ward 4 means your opponents will struggle just to attempt dealing with this cosmic horror of a serpent. Every time Koma connects, it spawns an army 4 of 3/3 serpents, meaning the longer it stays on the battlefield, the harder it becomes to stop the relentless tide of coils. With extra combat steps or unblockable effects, Koma quickly snowballs out of control, flooding the board with serpents and ensuring your opponents are completely overwhelmed. The gods feared Koma would devour the cosmos, but with this card as your commander, is your opponent's life totals that are about to get swallowed whole. At number 4, Alesha, who laughs at fate, isn't just swinging into battle. She's leading a resurrection parade, reviving fallen warriors straight from the graveyard every turn. With first strike and growing power, she turns combat into a deadly game, where even if your creatures fall, they're just waiting for the next attack step to come right back. Pair her with power boosting equipment or anthem effects, and suddenly she's pulling even bigger threats from the grave, making her army feel truly unstoppable. Fate might try to take her warriors, but Alesha just laughs, because in her world, the battle never ends. At number 3, Loot. Exuberant Explorer isn't just a ramp engine, it's an adorable land-dropping, creature-cheating menace that turns your mana base into pure value. With the ability to play extra lands every turn, Loot ensures you accelerate fast enough to start dropping big threats from the top of your deck like a green-loving chaos gremlin. Pair it with landfall effects, top deck manipulation, and extra untapped shenanigans, and suddenly your board is flooded with massive creatures while your opponents wonder where it all went wrong. Don't be fooled by the cute face. Loot is here to steal the game by ramping like crazy and dumping giant beasts straight onto the battlefield. At number 2, Tinybones. Bauble Burglar isn't just making your opponents discard, he's stealing their cards and spending them like a mischievous little skeleton bandit. With a built-in discard engine and the ability to cast stolen spells, Tinybones turns every Mind Rot effect into a 2-for-1 deal that leaves your opponents with nothing while you profit. Pair him with mass discard spells like Davriel, Rogue Shadow Mage, or Waste Not, and suddenly your deck isn't just controlling the game, it's playing with your opponent's resources. He may be small, but Tinybones is the kind of rogue that sneaks into your opponent's plans, swipes their best cards, and leaves them wondering how they got outplayed by a literal skeleton. Finally, at number 1, Niv-Mizzet. Visionary isn't just a dragon. He's an omniscient, fire-breathing genius who turns every non-combat ping into a personal library expansion. With no maximum hand size and a card draw engine that rewards you for any non-combat damage, this version of Niv is ready to brainstorm his way to victory while roasting opponents. Pair him with Gutter Snipe, Electrostatic Field, or any Curiosity effect, and suddenly every spell you cast fuels an infinite cycle of fiery card advantage. Whether you're slinging burn spells, storming off with cantrips, or just drawing an absurd number of cards for fun, Niv-Mizzet proves that intelligence really is power, especially when it's attached to a 5/5 dragon. That's it for the top 12 Foundations commanders. Which commander is your favorite? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more awesome MTG content. This is the Hero, signing off. See you in the next one.